For you, but if you're trying to stay in some kind of a budget, but at the same time you're trying to future-proof your PC and you're trying to build it yourself, then I think that this might be the video for you. Never say never, because for the first time in 21 years or 20 years, I am getting ready to build a PC. Yes, you heard me right, but it's not for me. It's for Stepan. So I can at least say that I haven't moved back to the dark side just yet. Now, I know some people may get offended with that, but I left Windows for the Mac when Windows 98 was the thing, and Windows 2000 had come out and it was absolute garbage. There was no Windows XP yet, I think, at the time. Either way, when I left Windows 98 was the most stable operating system that they were offering, and I was using a Dell Latitude laptop, and I'd had enough, and I went to Mac, and quite frankly, I haven't been happier. I mean, I've had a couple of moments, like the PowerBook G4 was a joke. I had a bad iMac that gave me some issues. Anyway, other than that, everything with them has been pretty good for the most part. So, but my son has desires as far as gaming goes with the PC. So we're gonna build this thing and we're gonna film every bit of it. So you're gonna get to see me struggle once again through another tutorial, but we're gonna get it done, and we're gonna get it done right. And we're gonna share with you guys which components we bought. We started out trying to go for a budget PC and found out very quickly that that wasn't gonna work. I mean, we have to future-proof this thing. But if you're trying to stay in some kind of a budget, but at the same time you're trying to future-proof your PC and you're trying to build it yourself, then I think that this might be the video for you. Okay, so here's what was in the box. We told them they were going to deliver the box, the Cooler Master, just like this, but we asked them not to do that. We asked them to just put it in this box for free. It's an Amazon box. So that's what they did. So anyway.
So we got the Vengeance LPX DDR4 Corsair RAM, 2 8GB sticks, 3200 megahertz. We also got this gold 650 watts Century fully modular power supply by Montech. They make the Corsair stuff, but since no one knows them, it was like super cheap. And now we have the Cooler Master box that I'm going to open. I already opened one side.
2 minutes later. Yeah, it's better to pick it up from the top like that. There it goes. Yeah, you don't want it to be that slam like that, but it's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so we have these.
Yeah, there you go.
You put this right like that. Then, shoot. We got the little gold, the gold one. Oops.
Doesn't look like it did on the in the pictures.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's not what I expected. Okay, if you think so, you do it.
I think you unscrew this.
Oh, so we need a screwdriver.
Yeah, and then top.
So that looks exactly like it did in the picture. Well, it definitely has ventilation.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, right here, there's mesh right here and holes right here on the side. Oh, look. More mesh.
Oh.
Where's this go?
There you go.
Okay, so we were wondering what this mesh was for. I looked here and I was like, okay, so that's a hilt, like right here. We suspected that it went here, but we didn't know for sure. But then I accidentally did this trying to fit it, and it stuck on like a magnet. So then I stuck it on, and boom, the mesh front.
So basically you discovered that the mesh cover was magnetic.
Yeah.
And you just slapped it on and there
And we
it is.
know it's the right place because these lines right here, connect with the lines on the mesh front.
Mm-hmm.
These lines.
Yes, it's a good looking box.
Yeah.
Can't wait to put everything in there, the motherboard and all that other stuff. So now we're gonna, well, we can't, without the motherboard, we really can't do much of anything else except look at the power supply, because the RAM's gonna plug into the board, as you know. But that's about it for now. We're waiting for the rest of the components to get here. It's the cables and everything that are gonna plug in. This power supply is fully modular. They say if you want to have a really clean looking box, that you should strive, you should always try to get a fully modular power supply, and that's what this is. So you don't have like fixed wires or cables that you may not necessarily need getting in the way.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I love how it's labeled. It's like motherboard, CPU,
One second. Cool.
Just labeled and everything.
Okay, once again, Amazon has under-promised and over-delivered. So we have everything here. And I'm not showing the Ryzen 5 because we're going to use the Ryzen 7 instead. But everything that we need is here, technically, except for the graphics card, which should be arriving tomorrow. But we were told the Ryzen 5 wouldn't be here until late tonight, and it's already here. And like I said, now we're just trying to figure out, actually we know, we're confident that the graphics card is going to do us fine for now. It set us back $250. So all in all right now, we're out about $1,225. So $1,225 is what we've spent to put this gaming PC together, which was supposed to be a budget PC, but then we started thinking, you know what, gotta buy it right the first time so you don't have to buy it again in no time at all.
Here we go. The AMD Ryzen. It
Ryzen
doesn't
7.
come with a fan.
It should.
Look.
Oh boy. Really? I'll sort them out for that. That's not gonna work. It needs a fan.
Didn't they show
Well,
picture of the fan?
I've got thermal paste, so we can use that. But we still need a fan on it.
Box for a tiny little graphics card.
Well, at least it has a fan. So let's show that to the camera.
Well, it is the fan.
So GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. This is what we're gonna put in there for the graphics. Then we have the Ryzen 7.
It doesn't have a fan.
And then we have this board here.
I think we have to put it together
Asus.
right here.
So yeah,
Oh,
a
never
lot of
mind.
Asus stuff going on. But then we have the power supply. So we have everything we need to assemble.
Other than the fan.
Well, it doesn't have to have it right this minute. We can still start without it. Or we can find out why they didn't put the fan in there.
Yeah, because it showed a picture of
So,
the fan, but
we're going to get set up here to record later on this evening, and we're going to put this thing together. So after seeing how things were with Fry's Electronics, I was expecting to come in here and find nothing going on, but that is not the case. So I just went to Micro Center to get the Ryzen 3700X. We're in a really difficult situation. So now we currently have 3 processors sitting on in our possession. This is the Ryzen 3700X, if you can see that. It was really cool to go in here. I haven't been in Micro Center in forever. I bought my first Mac here at this Micro Center. A really close friend of mine who is a total nerd, he got his first, I think it was an Apple IIc from this Micro Center back in 1985 or 86. So we're gonna go with this because we're using a 4-year-old gaming card. It's considered old, but the next gaming card they had up from this one, from the 1050 Ti, which is what we have, the Asus, was a $900 graphics card here. And I'm not gonna spend $900 on a graphics card right now. It's ridiculous, but you know, it's the culture in there has changed a little bit. They're a little bit like kind of like anti-Mac there. They kind of laugh at the whole thought of wanting to play games with a Mac versus a PC. And you know what? To each his own. But anyway, here we go. Let's go home and get this thing put together. Okay, so we are finally going to get started here. We have the...
Wrong thing.
It's not the wrong thing, but we have the Ryzen 7 5800X. And here is the Ryzen 7 3700X. We're gonna go with this.
We got this one because they said that this one will come with a fan, or at least the picture said it. He didn't read it thoroughly.
So, unfortunately, because of the shortage with graphics cards, we are going with this Asus. I understand this looks crazy because we're using this motherboard here, but we're going to use this old graphics card. It's not old as far as the condition of it, but it's old as far as it's been around for 4 years now. But we're just working with what we can get our hands on for the most part. That's affordable, and this one was $250 on Amazon. We'll put links for all this stuff in the description. And I think they have a pretty strict return policy at Micro Center, so we are definitely going to be sticking with this processor.
Okay, so here's the processor.
And that's the heat sink in that other box.
Yep.
It's going to go over the processor. Now we're doing this a little bit backwards. The first thing we're supposed to do is put in the Montec. So we're going to do that next. Yep. So let's keep it in the box for now so we don't, because we're not ready to put that in.
Yeah, I know, I'm just showing you.
Here's the inside of the case. It's got a plexiglass side here, which we just took out. All right, time to show you some of the things that are in the box. In the case, actually. So all these little screws. It's got some ties there to the cable management. We've got these right here. So it looks really good in here. Everything is where it needs to be. We just need to get started. All right. Carefully take all the plastic and everything off. Okay, so we are going to prep the motherboard here. Just letting you get a good look
Pretty bored.
at everything that's going on. Of course, the RAM is going to go here. We're going to alternate the slots, so I guess we'll put 1 and 2 and then 1 and 4. Let's see. Of course, the processor will go here, CPU. So we'll drop the Ryzen right there, and then we'll remove these clips here, and that will leave room for us to lay the heat sink down on top of there. And then once we get all that together, we'll go on and put this stuff inside of the case and plug up all the cables where they need to go. So it has been ages since I've done an actual, worked on an actual PC that would, you know, run Windows. So Stepan is just as experienced in this situation as I am. You're gonna plug it down that way.
Yeah, and hello.
Got it? You hear it click?
Yeah.
No. Look, just like this, watch. Hear that?
Mm-hmm.
And you see how that one just...
Yeah.
Once you push it down in there, that locks into place.
Got it.
So we kind of, this is how it's supposed to look. It should be looking like that. Okay? So the next thing we're gonna do is drop that processor in there. You see this little pin?
Yes, sir.
That pin is gonna lock it down. Now, with this processor, we're just gonna gently put it down. I guess we have to line it up with something.
Wait, how do you open this? Oh yeah, you lift this up.
Yep. And never put your hands on there, only on the sides, remember. You can't touch those at all. Okay. Get comfortable with it. Hold it on the sides.
Boom.
Okay, make sure that you line this little gold piece, line it up with that right there. You can't really do it a wrong way, but...
I'm scared. What if I break it?
Here.
You're gonna break it.
Here, let me
No,
do it.
shut up. Yo,
That's not right.
I'm gonna let you do it.
Yeah,
You
just leave
pick it
it.
up.
Just leave
You
it. I'll
pick it
fix
up.
it.
Nice to see you too, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, nice to see you.
Bye.
You see how it just dropped in there?
Yeah.
It feels like gravity is just doing the work. Look, it just slides right in.
That looks cool.
Yeah, it just slides right in. It almost feels magnetic in a way. And it's got a little bit of play, but it's in there. You don't even have to press down on it. And then this thing here is kind of like the lock that holds it down. So you just, oops, there it goes. So it just slides underneath this. Let me show you. Slides underneath that little pin right there. So now we've got our RAM and the CPU and the motherboard.
Wait.
And all we gotta do now is get this motherboard situated inside of the case. And, we also need to...
The cooler.
Yes, we need to do the heat sink next, yeah. We gotta do the heat sink, and then we gotta put the SSD. Okay, really important, because you see a lot of videos where people will take these out. But because this board is AMD Ryzen ready, all we had to do is, this thing all comes in one piece, and it has these little metal brackets here. Okay? Sorry if you can't see that. I'm trying to make it more visible. Right there. And that little piece, that little tab, so they have these holes, and it goes over those tabs, and you just kind of start on this side, hook the tab through the hole, okay? And then get it over here, get it over on this side, get it lined up. They get hooked in, and this thing right here is like your lever to take off the pressure. So it's down, so it's nice and secure. It's ready to go, and then I plugged that cable in to the fan header there. So the fan, the CPU, and the heatsink are installed. Then the only other thing to do next is to connect that storage drive, wherever that needs to be connected on here. And once we get that done, we will move on over here to the case and hook everything up in the case, and we will be ready to install Windows 10 and go from there. All right, so we have a problem. This motherboard will not fit into this case with this power supply. So got it all mounted in there, it was all ready, and there's no room. Now, I don't know everything about this case, so bear with me. If I could take this out, it could probably fit. There'd be enough clearance because of this right here. There should be enough clearance just to get it to stick right in here because this, but I don't think I'm supposed to take this out. So if that's the case, this motherboard will not work in this case. And I will just have to send it back and get a different case. That's what I'm thinking for now. I will confirm this. It looks like I'm going to have to get a different case so that this will fit, because this size motherboard will not work with this Cooler Master case. There have been some developments once again. With this power supply in here, I was unable to make this motherboard really work without making some serious adjustments. So, yes, I know the AMD is upside down. It should be the other way around. And if I can get away with just leaving it like that, Stepan prefers that I just leave it and get moving because he's anxious. So this one here was just a little too tight for us, and did some research, but feel free to leave comments if you guys feel that I'm wrong to not stick with the Cooler Master. But a lot of people were concerned about the heat that builds up in there, not being able to get enough airflow. But this one here gets really good reviews, especially about the airflow. People say that the airflow works really well in here and it stays nice and cool, and that the fans are quiet. So did some more research and decided to go with this MSI case. So as you can see, it is significantly larger than the Cooler Master, but it's not too bad. I like it. You've got 2 fans on the front and 1 fan in the back. Those fans come with the case, and of course the front, it's got a little mesh cover here, filter or whatever. It's nice and flush here, so it's not super easy to get it up or to get it out. And then we have the 2, these are fixed, so you can't pull those off, I don't think. But anyway, and they are LED. And there's your USB 2.0. I think it's just 2.0. Might be 3.0. I gotta double check that. Actually, that could be a deal breaker. I really hope that's 3.0. No SD card slot or anything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But there's, as you can see, there's plenty of space down here for the power supply. It's got its own little cage area there. Plenty of space, so it pays to go with a larger case, I think. And of course the other side is it's just solid. And it was $60, $59.99 on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below to all these things. All right, guys, this is a very important part of the video. The RAM, you want to make sure that from where your CPU, you want to be looking at your motherboard just like this, okay? And you want to make sure that if you have 2 sticks, first stick goes here in the second slot, and the second stick goes in the 4th slot, okay? This is your 4th slot, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to put them in like that. Stefan's gonna do the honors here to snap it down. Press it down till you, yep. There you go. You'll know that you have it because these tabs, you pop them out like this, and when you press it down enough and you hear it click, this will automatically slide in. Okay, so Stefan's got it. I'm just double checking it. He did a good job. All right, so there's only 2 things left to do with this board. We want to make sure that we're putting this in the right slot. I have looked everywhere. I have looked around online, and I have looked at YouTube, of course, and I haven't found anyone putting in M.2 SSDs in this board. Not yet, at least. So I'm going to show you where it needs to go. Now, here is one of the slots right here. You kind of go in a little bit at an angle. I'm going to show you like that. And it will click when you press it in there. But I have one issue. Here's my issue. So there's 2 plates. Here's one plate, and it says M.2 on it. I'm assuming that it should go in there, but rather than just assume that it goes here, I want to make sure that it's not really supposed to go here. Now, I'm thinking because it's labeled, we should start here, and if we had a second one, put it there, right underneath the heatsink. But we're going to make sure, and I'm going to put that in this video just so you know, and then we'll go on and put it inside of the new case here that we have, or the larger case. We're really excited to get this started. We've been waiting for days. So
I'm more excited than you are.
Yeah, you are. That's for sure, because I'm the Mac guy. Okay, so this is where you're supposed to put your SSD, okay? So as you can see, I'm going with Crucial. I'm a big Crucial fan. I covered this one back up, and you will see that there's some kind of like double-sided tape here. I don't know. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm just going to leave it back. I'm going to put this cover back on here.
It says take off. It says remove, 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 remove.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll take it off. Yeah, I saw something in the manual about that. And by the way, what I did is, because the the booklet's a little bit cumbersome to get through. I just downloaded the manual from ASUS and pulled it up on the screen, was able to look at everything and check out what everything means here easily and make sure that I was doing this right. So other than this being upside down, everything is good here. It's not going to stop it from working properly, so I'm going to leave it as is instead of messing with the thermal paste again. And yeah, so this is it. Now we're just going to stick it here in the box once again. Well, I don't want to be too bold, but I want to say in the next 30 minutes, just to be safe. 30 minutes, we will have this thing running, and then we will get on installing the operating system.
Yeah.
Which is going to be Windows 10. All right, one more quick side note. There's a package, or a pack of a packet with 2 screws, and well, it's got this weird little, I'm showing you this because no one talked about this, or at least I couldn't find anyone talking about it. So you put this thing in first, you kind of screw it in by hand into this slot right here for the SSD. And then once you get your SSD secured, you come back and put that screw on top of it, which is right there, and that holds it in. So of course there's another one here so that it can go into this spot, just to see. No problem. It's gonna fit.
Yep.
It's gonna fit. So plenty of space. We don't even have to rush putting the power supply in. But yeah, power supply will go down there. Maybe we'll do that now. I don't know.
Wait, take this piece of paper out right here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to mix anything up with the other one. All right.
This right
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
I think that's a manual.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's see, is there anything else? No, just cables.
That's weird.
These are RGB fans. I don't know if this one is too, but I don't know.
Yeah, they are. All of them.
And so is this one. So,
Yeah, fans galore.
RGB fans galore.
And then you've got your little packet here with all the screws and everything that you need. I gotta be very careful when I take that off. So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna get on that.
Get on it.
All right, okay. All right. So that is a thermal pad. Very important. And we'll just lay it over the crucial and then start the screw.
It needs to go over just a little bit. I got it.
Just a little bit, not too much. You got to get the other one now. Once you get that started, go to the other one. There you go. Make sure it's lined up. Is it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bring it down just a little bit, and then bring the other one down. Make sure that one's, but don't overturn it because you can strip it very easily. You don't want to do that. We have flipped it around. This is the side, the non-tempered glass side. So here's how you get it out there. It comes with these 2 screws that are holding it in. This was actually like this when we took it out of the box, so it must have gotten bumped around pretty bad in transit. Okay, so we now have the EVGA 650 GT, and this thing is showing signs of life. That fan's going. These fans aren't because they're not plugged up yet. So we're gonna plug everything back up, put that graphics card in, and install Windows 10 Home Edition, and go from there. But yeah, looks like we're in business here just about. I guess we could light up those fans real quick. We're gonna do a quick comparison here just to discuss the differences between these 2 power sources, power supplies. This one here, both of them are fully modular, so this is definitely an apples to apples comparison. With the Century, I was unable to get it to work, but there's a little part of me that feels like maybe I was doing something wrong.
But you did the same things with this one that you did with this.
Yeah,
So,
I actually plugged up more for the Century, more cables, and still didn't get it to work. But I'll just tell you where I plugged up the Century, just so you know. I plugged it, of course I plugged in the motherboard, and then I plugged in these two right here. And I feel like there was one more I plugged in, but let's just say I plugged these two in and the motherboard. I know that for sure. And it did not power on. You can't just plug them into the wall and then throw the power switch to make sure they're working. They will not work that way. So, after plugging this all in to the motherboard and everything and not getting any power to the tower at all, I was left to believe that something was wrong with this power supply. When we realized that this wasn't working, Stepan and I talked about it and we decided to order this power supply here. It was arguable whether or not we should stick with 650 watts, but from what I've done, the research I've done, this is plenty of power. So we went with the 650 again. This one has a 7-year warranty. No cool carrying case for the cables, but then again, like I said, who needs them? You just use what you need and you put the rest back in the box. But these have these nice braided covers over them and they seem a little bit easier to flex. And best of all, once we got it all plugged up, it powered up. Everything works. So we now know that we have a good working power supply. And
you're gonna order a pre-built one if this power supply don't work.
And this one slides in here easily, so it's in there, no problem, no issues. That's it. If you're deciding whether or not you want to buy these two, this one was on sale for 90 bucks. This one was 80 bucks. 7-year warranty, 5-year warranty. You decide.
Okay, so we're gonna turn on the power supply, and already you can see that the motherboard is lighting up. But then we.
Uh-oh. That's weird.
Wait. Okay, so we think we fixed it. We didn't plug these HDD LED reset, and we didn't power in all these LEDs. So we put them in, and now we're gonna start it up. And gonna start it up. Look, this has something to do with power. So how about I plug this reset out just real quick?
Well, yeah, but you'll need it too later.
I know
but yeah,
we'll
just
need
try.
it, but like, how about we just try it? Plugged it in. Yeah, see, we need that power SW.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm checking.
So cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it when things start to work. So,
Yeah.
Stepan was right in the beginning to plug these up this way, not the way I had it. And everything looks good. Now all we gotta do is install Windows. Well, of course, put the case together and get the graphics card in here.
And the power supply.
Yeah, you get the power supply in, and yeah, then we'll be ready to install Windows. This is the SATA cage. It was right here. Okay, it was really simple. All I had to do was go up underneath here, and I took out 4 screws. As you can see, this is where they were. All right, I took out the 4 screws, I put them right there. Now I have plenty of room to set my power supply in here. We are currently just getting ready. We are creating the bootable drive for Windows 10 right now. So we're gonna go on and throw this in here. And it's really simple. I just have to make sure I've got plenty of room here because I'm kind of testing. Yeah. Pull it a little closer. So anyway, I'll have to unplug this, of course, so that I can get it through here. So I'm gonna do that, switch off my power supply. Yeah, I think you guys know what I'm about to do. Go for it.
We'll have to clean this before putting it back on.
Yep. Yeah, we're almost there. I'm just gonna investigate, see if I can flip that AMD over.
No.
Okay, this part is pretty straightforward, but I'm gonna show you anyway. I've already kind of worked this one a little bit. But you basically just, you see how it's starting to give away right there? I mean, these things just pop right out. Sorry, let me back it up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I mean, you see what I mean? And it's pretty much gonna come out. Now you can, you know, a lot of videos they say wiggle it back and forth or whatever, but see, look, it just popped right out. No big deal. Didn't hurt anything. And I'm gonna do one more because my goal is to have enough space for the graphics card. Sorry for the, oops. See, I bumped the wrong one. So you saw how that one worked. And here's the other one. Now you gotta be careful actually, because see, you could scrape something here on the board. And I think I got pretty lucky there. I wasn't even thinking about that. So yeah, you gotta be very careful here. Because man, look at that. Look at where that is. Hang on, let me show you. That was super close. So let me, I'm gonna drop the camera for a second just to show you that you don't wanna put a lot of pressure on these and end up scraping something. Sorry, this is bad camera work. So let me get that done and then we'll install the video card. I mean the graphics card. Yeah, for the record, with two hands on this, just wiggling it came out much quicker, much easier, didn't scrape anything. So do not do what I did. Don't just bang those in, especially if you already have your motherboard in there. Do not do what I just did. Here we are. This is the Asus. This is a 1050 Ti, I believe. That's, if I'm saying that right. I believe it's a 1050 Ti. This was all that I could get at short notice that was somewhat affordable. Didn't want to drop the $500 or more on a video card when I didn't know how this thing was going to turn out. However, I've had second thoughts and we are going to get a better video card. We are not going to settle for this one long term. We are going to try this out with this video card and then I will come back and put in a better video card. We are currently looking and trying to select the right one right now, but this one will definitely suffice for what we need to do. My son mainly plays Minecraft, so he doesn't need, he doesn't need like some high-end graphics processor or whatever. I mean, sorry, GPU. So here it is. It's pretty simple. You just pull this thing off right here, which I'm gonna do, but not one-handed. Gosh, I gotta tell you, computers were so different when the last time I opened one up or did a rebuild on one or worked on a tower. We used to call them towers, but worked on a case from scratch. You just didn't have to deal with stuff exactly like this. I mean, it was basically the same, but there were things that were a little different. Anyway, when I get this in here, it's gonna look like this, okay? But right now I need to kind of keep my eye on this. Don't really have help. So I'm gonna have to once again put the phone down so that I can do this. This part, you press this out so that it'll fit in there. This little bracket here to the left, it's adjustable. You see on the other side here, it has an adjustment. So now I've got it, and all I gotta do is push it, press it in, okay? So here it goes. I'm gonna press it in right now. It's always good to kind of support the board from behind, which is what I'm trying to do. Ooh.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, that didn't sound, there it goes.
Okay, so how do we attach these things right here?
So we need, you don't want it to flex too much. You need to get it secured. Now that it's in here, which it is, I need to get the screws that came with the graphics card and mount it right there. So I'm gonna do that really quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, everything is operational, everything's hooked up. So now it is time to install Windows 10. Super quiet. Very, very quiet computer. Getting right into it. So we're gonna go over here to where it says boot. And we're gonna see to it that boot option number 1 is just for this, the SanDisk. The reason we're gonna go with the SanDisk is because it has Windows 10 on it. From here you switch to the bootable drive so you can install Windows 10, and once that is done you switch it back to the main drive so you can run the operating system. Bear with me people, I'm just learning this and I'm showing you as I go how it's done.
There's probably some pros in the chat.
Yeah, I know, some pros. Your eyes are bleeding right now, but hey, you know what? And I'm sure your eyes are bleeding at the fact that we put a Ryzen 7 3700X in here with this old dated GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. We are totally going to remedy that. Everything else we're doing here, I've been watching a lot of other videos and seeing how people are building their PCs, and the weak link here is this graphics card, which
But
we're plugged into it right now, but
that's the best budget game video card we could get because of the whole cryptocurrency thing.
yep. And we didn't want to say that word, but I guess you can say it. It doesn't matter. But yeah, people are mining, but anyway, we're plugged in right here. We're ready. We're gonna get this going. Here we are. We are at Windows setup. All we did is we clicked exit from the BIOS, and then we saved those changes and selected to reset along with it. And now here we are on the main screen where we can go on and install Windows 10. So here we go. Now note that I have not entered the key yet. We are just gonna install it on this computer. Okay. So look, if you don't have the key handy, it's okay. You can still install it and get the key later. So I'm gonna go and install it. I gotta say, I don't have a product key. Sorry for the bad camera work.
Dang.
Yeah, it's bad. I apologize. So we are gonna go with Windows 10 Home, and it looks like we're gonna go with the 64. I'm a little confused what the Home N stands for, but we're gonna go with Home. Let's just go.
Yeah, let's just go home.
Let's keep it simple.
All I know is home and pro.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
accept, because if I don't accept, they're not gonna give it to me. All right, after editing and everything, you're just seeing this. Okay, so we're gonna choose the bottom option. Then you get to select the drive.
Choose the bottom option if you're making like a new PC. If you're like if it's a fresh PC or like a fresh installation.
Yeah, you want to choose the bottom. We're going with this one here. Hit next. And that's it. So we're gonna go through the installer here, let it do its thing, and we'll be right back. All right, that didn't even take 5 minutes. So there's gonna be some more questions here. I'm really surprised at how quick this is going. Remember, I'm coming from, my last experience with Windows was Windows 98. Yep. Just waiting here. I thought this was going to happen a little bit sooner. Maybe give you some cool graphics to look at. Yes, the AMD's upside down. We just want to be different. Okay, this is what we want to see. That's it. More questions? United States. And it's time to create an account. There's something we want to say about this page. As for this setup and this portion of the setup, ooh,
Hello?
that's weird.
Oh, I think it.
Oh, it just, wow. Okay, it just reconfigured because of the graphics and all that. See how much better it looks now?
Yeah.
Wow. We feel very strongly about sharing our information, and I know most of you do. So for this page about the privacy settings, we pretty much decided to switch them all to no and not share anything, okay? I mean, we just feel strongly about this. We don't need tailored experiences. We don't really want to send our diagnostic data. We don't want to send over, and you know, this part right here, you know, track your device if you lose it.
No,
Don't
thanks.
really think we're gonna be like losing this somewhere, and you know,
Oh, it dropped out of my pocket.
yeah, right. So, you know, and of course we don't want advertising or any of that stuff. So it's gonna be a big no to all that.
I mean, slipped
And,
out of my pocket.
yeah.
It dropped on it.
All right.
No thanks.
Well, the resolution is kicked in. It's looking a lot better now.
Yeah.
And we're using an Acer here that's 1440p. And
1080, almost 1080.
no, it's over.
More.
But anyway, we're
No.
definitely going to look into getting a better monitor. I didn't buy it with this build in mind, but of course we're going to have to get a better graphics card in here. And yeah, in a minute we're going to put everything back together now that Windows is,
It's cold.
yeah, it's nice and cool. It's so quiet. People, you just have no idea. I'm not feeling any heat from this thing at all.
Can't even hear it.
Yep, it's super silent.
The fan.
Yeah, any hissing you heard was a fan that we have running in the background to help circulate the air in here.
Yeah, it's hot in here.
And yeah,
Well, for me at least.
this bedroom is right over the garage. Another little side note. Oh, well, this is ready. Never mind. We're just gonna get onto this. Wow, that's it.
I want
You
to
are-
change this to dark option.
You're all set. So here's the thing. In order for us to, we can use Windows right now as is, but there will be, let's see, hang on one second. Microsoft Edge, maybe later. We're gonna use Chrome with this computer.
Yeah.
Or yeah, Chrome or Firefox or something.
I use Chrome on my.
Okay, well, that's what we'll do. So anyway, there'll be like some kind of a watermark here that will stay until you preloaded with. That's interesting.
I don't think we need
I chose to let this download. I don't think it's the end of the world. It's an Asus thing that is connected with the board. You don't have to download it, but we're just gonna go on and let it download. It's not gonna hurt anything to have it on here. Just for the record, this so far has officially taken longer than it took for Windows 10 to install,
Yeah.
which is insane. So just wanted to note that, like, if you don't want to do this, then maybe you shouldn't, because we're pretty anxious to get started here.
I think we can
with everything,
start.
Wow, well, it must have heard us talking and said, oh, I'll show you slow. And it's ready now. It's pretty clean, but we're gonna mess with this later. It's not really super important.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go on and minimize that and get to work on the other. We're using an Asus Nighthawk.
That's not Asus.
It's not?
think so.
Netgear,
Yeah, Netgear.
Nighthawk.
I knew it was an Asus.
So here's what we're getting. This is all we're getting right now, and we're right here by the router, which is running off of an Ethernet connection to the actual AT&T fiber thing, which is located down in the basement. So
I have
that's not
Ethernet.
good. So we're gonna plug that up. Look, you ready to shut it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out because the Ethernet is coming from down here. Which, by the way, we have a video on us installing this Ethernet in here.
I need to.
Oh yeah.
I'll plug the Ethernet in.
Do you see where it is?
Yeah, I know where it is. Yeah, I see it now. I think I see it. Sign
All right,
in.
cool.
Oh wow, the sensitivity is so messed up.
So quiet. Super quiet. So yeah, we'll do separate videos on each component, or maybe just an all-in-one.
Wow.
You'll
this
know it
is-
when you're watching
This is
it.
such a big screen.
Yeah, it is.
For me, well, at least because I was using a 27.
Well, I am glad to be done with this. So I guess install your games and we'll see how it works. And that'll do it for this video. So all the links to everything that we're using will be in the description.
Even though this is probably like a 10-minute video, it took us more like a week.
It's gonna be more than a 10-minute video, that's for sure. I still gotta edit, and yeah, there are clips that are around 10 minutes, so we'll do our best to condense it. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. We'll let you know our thoughts as far as Windows versus Mac and the gaming and all that kind of stuff. Okay, one more important thing that we have to mention really quick, because we forgot to do this. You have to go back into the BIOS so that you can tell the computer where you want it to boot. So when you restart the computer, hold down F2, and that'll take you to the BIOS. And here I am. I'm gonna hit boot. We're gonna use this.
Yes.
And then we'll exit this screen if it ever will get there.
Wow, it's bad.
And then you want to save the changes. Save and reset. I'm gonna just hit enter. God. And this is a really good mouse, by the way. Right? You like it, right?
Yeah, I love it. It's just hard to grip once.
What is this mouse?
Once your hands get
Which
sweaty,
one
it's
is it?
hard to grip.
Oh,
Because
really?
it's glossy. Yeah.
Well, we'll put a link in the description.
It's the Glorious Low Minus.
Okay.
It's the Glorious Low Minus is the same as the Glorious Low, just smaller. Yes.
All right, here we go. Wait a minute. So yeah, we got to wondering, hey, what if we installed Windows 10 Pro rather than Windows 10 Home on this computer? So we decided to use the product key from our Surface Pro for the kids, which has Windows 10 Pro on it, and put it on the build that we just did. Well, it didn't want to accept it, so we had no choice but to go back and create. We didn't have to recreate it, but we did by mistake. So that was mistake number one. You don't need to recreate that bootable USB. It has the Windows 10 version that you need on it because it was created with a 64-bit version in mind. All right, here we are again, starting all over. Go on and hit next, hit custom, hit the second one. Okay, we're on the command screen. So we held down Shift along with F10 to get to this point right here. And now it says sources. So here, all in one word, press the space bar first. And then press enter, press disk, D-I-S-K-P-A-R-T, diskpart, and then press enter. Okay, from here, you enter list disk as 2 separate words, all lowercase, and then press enter again. Okay, now here's where you select the drive that you want to use. In this case, it's going to be 0, so you just enter 0 and press enter. Okay, now type in select disk, separate words, and then 0. And then now it says disk 0 is now the selected disk. So type clean and press enter. Succeeded in cleaning the disk, okay? So now you type in convert, separate words, GPT, and then press enter. Diskpart has successfully converted the selected disk to GPT format. I know I didn't say that exactly right, but you get what we're saying. So from here, we are going to type exit once, enter, and we will type exit one more time, enter.
Take a
Okay,
swig.
awesome, it accepted. Okay, yep, going to accept the license terms, hit next, go to custom install, yes, select that drive, it's there, next, and it is installing Windows once again, and this time we're doing it the right way.
Yes. Boom. And booyah.
And let's get that drive out of there.
Yeah. Booyah.
We know I gotta edit all that booyah stuff out.
Yeah. Probably like 5,000 things.
So this here takes a little bit of time. Takes longer than the initial USB setup. So I'm gonna go on and stop the video from here.